Welcome to the Verbo Citrus Bowl, a part of Capital One Bowl Mania on a gorgeous New Year's Day in Orlando, Florida. Our matchup, the Auburn Tigers against the Wildcats, number 14 ranked team from Northwestern. Hi, everybody, and Happy New Year. Dave Fleming, Rod Gilmore, Paul Carcaterra is with us as well. What a great day. Best day of the year in college football. We got playoff games still to come. We're in the Florida sunshine, and we got a traditional matchup, Rod, of the SEC against the Big Ten.
Yeah, New Year's Day, big game, and, you know, the narrative never seems to change. It's the SEC speed against the power of the Big Ten, and lately it's been the Big Ten kind of falling to the SEC 11-4 in bowl games, SEC ahead.
Players, coaches, they pay attention to that stuff. They've all been talking about that conference matchup leading into this game. It's been a tumultuous year for everybody in college football, and I think everyone is happy to turn the page to 2021, particularly for the Auburn Tigers. Big expectations, as is always the case on the Plains. This was a team ranked as high as number 7 of the country, not ranked coming into this Citrus Bowl game. Ugly losses to both Alabama and Georgia in the same year for the 5th time in the last 7 years. Part of the reason why, a change that surprised a lot of people. Coach Malzahn fired, Brian Harsin hired. Brian is here. We're going to have him join our telecast during the Citrus Bowl here today. One of the tasks for the new Auburn head coach, Rod, is going to be to get more consistent play out of their very talented young quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good graphic there that shows you in their losses, he's not as good as in their wins. Same thing home and road. Now, he is a playmaker. He makes big plays for them, but he's not been consistent from the pocket. That's an issue for him to deal with. And, you know, for him, this is his chance to make a first impression on his new head coach, who is a guy who knows a thing about teaching and coaching quarterbacks. He's done it at Boise State for a long time.
Yeah, meanwhile, for Northwestern, last year 3-9, Pat Fitzgerald at the end of that year said, this will not happen again. And the head coach, who's been a part of this program for so long, was not lying. They totally turned things around this season with a mix of veteran, tough, older players and, Rod, an infusion of a lot of good young talent.
Yeah, talent that can make some crazy plays. Look at this sick offensive pick. This interception by Brandon Joseph in the end zone. You don't think athleticism with Northwestern defense? Well, think again. This play and 5 other picks during the season made him a first-team All-American as a freshman, and he can flat-out play.
So you got the motivation of the conference matchup. You got a trophy on the line, a New Year's Day bowl game, plus big-time extra motivating factor for Northwestern. For more on that, let's say hi to Paul Carcaterra.
Hello, Dave. When you think of Northwestern football, obviously you think of Pat Fitzgerald, but another central piece to their success has been defensive coordinator Mike Hankwitz, who's been with Fitzgerald since 2008. Hankwitz has coached in college football for 51 years, and today he'll hang up the whistle and begin his retirement. When you talk to players, co-workers, and opposing coaches, they all love Mike. Fitzgerald told me he pushes his players to be the best. He believes in them, dials up schemes, and teaches technique with the best of them. He's been part of 399 wins in his career. 400 would be special for an outstanding football coach and a better man.
Auburn won the toss and deferred. So the Tigers are going to kick off to the Wildcats. Coco Azuma. The Northwestern, they have a tradition in their bowl games. They've been successful. They won 3 bowl games in a row, the Wildcats have, of trick plays and big plays on special teams and trying different stuff in bowl games. We'll see if there's any of that in store for the Wildcats here in 2021.
Be aggressive and let it hang out. Have some fun, right?
Have fun. That was Pat Fitzgerald's message to us. That has been his message to his team. And here we go. It'll be a touchback. So no chance for Azuma as the Northwestern offense comes on the field. Peyton Ramsey, grad transfer, really made a difference in this Northwestern program. Part of Pat Fitzgerald's pronouncement that he was going to change the way last season went was he was going to change the quarterback room. Peyton, who played for his dad, Doug, who's a great high school coach in Cincinnati. Lots of starting experience and lots of winning experience at Indiana. Led Northwestern to its 2nd Big Ten West Division title this year.
He was the missing link. He was the guy that provided the consistency at quarterback that Northwestern needed this year.
Good word, I think. Not a lot of spectacular numbers from Peyton Ramsey, but overall good play. Cam Porter, who has burst upon the scene late in the year for the Wildcats, a true freshman, also from Cincinnati, who is making his second career start here today.
You know, Ramsey came in and gave some confidence and leadership to the offense.
They'll fake it to Porter. Ramsey can move a little bit. Nice delivery on the move for a first down to his tight end, John Rain.
Well, Ramsey will give you some mobility. They will boot. They will waggle, get him out of the pocket, get him away from some of the pressure they expect from Auburn. But he's really good in the pocket with the intermediate passes.
Well, they're going quicker tempo at the start of this game. Lots of time to throw. And again, Ramsey to his tight end. It's not a huge play, but Northwestern's not a big play offense. Mostly what they do is deliberately move the ball down the field. They try to control the clock. I think this is the way they want to play.
This is a day and age where most teams want chunk plays. They want 20-plus yards. They want quick drives. That's not Northwestern style. They want to grind it out and keep the football.
Receiver in motion. They'll hand it to that receiver for a gain around the right side. Riley Lease, who's playing his final game for the Wildcats. Lots of experienced players who will say that about today in this Citrus Bowl. First down, Northwestern.
You know, back to Peyton Ramsey. It's sort of fascinating. This is a guy who initially out of high school wanted to go to Northwestern, but wasn't offered or didn't get a scholarship.
Wildcat, which is the perfect game for Northwestern. Big hit on the defense from Zacoby McClain, who's had a terrific year as a junior for Auburn.
Yeah, I think we might call his name a few times. Look at him. Steps right into the gap. Great form tackle. Has 102 tackles on the season. He is the focal point of that defense.
Yeah, KJ Britt got hurt against Georgia. Has not played since. Said his goodbye to the Auburn program in the lead up to this bowl game. An open receiver, but a stumble. The pass was not exactly perfect, so just a short gain to set up third down to Evan Hall.
Yeah, this is the kind of situation Northwestern wanted to avoid, a third down and long. This is when Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator and interim head coach, likes to dial up the pressure. This is when his big guys on the edge will really try and use their speed and come after the quarterback.
Well, they sure look like they're going to bring some pressure here on third down. Ramsey has a little time and throws to an open target. That's a Northwestern first down, and Riley Lees breaks one tackle, couldn't quite break a second, but a nice conversion for the Wildcats.
That was really all about the protection. You know, the pressure was coming. You see Ramsey has time to step up and deliver a nice throw. Tennyson on the tackle, but really the offensive line did the job there.
And I think it's been a strength of this Northwestern team, that offensive line. Handoff, straight ahead run, and a power run from Cam Porter. Tough kid, just a true freshman, but he's going to be a really good one for Northwestern.
Look, he's taken over the job at running back for them, and he will have to carry the ball an awful lot. You know, since he's really, you know, exploded on the scene. A couple of guys that left the program, hit the transfer portal. So he may have to tote the rock 20, 25 times today.
Play fake for Ramsey on second down. He's going deep and caught in stride for a Northwestern touchdown. A guy who's emerged as a big-time playmaker, Ramon Jalkio Bowman, with the touchdown on Northwestern's opening drive, 35 yards.
Beautiful route. Jalkio Bowman coming from the right side to the left side. And we should mention that in the Auburn secondary, Roger McCreary, their fine corner, is not playing today. So you've got a different rotation for Auburn on the back end over there. And boy, did Jalkio Bowman use his advantage and get open.
That could hardly have gone better for Northwestern. Their first drive of this 2021 Verbose Citrus Bowl ends up in the end zone, 35 yards from Peyton Ramsey to a guy who has turned into a playmaker for the Wildcats, Ramon Jalkio Bowman. Northwestern touchdown.
Back in Orlando. Let's go back to that touchdown pass to Jalkio Bowman that got Northwestern up. You see him out here in facing press coverage against Damio. And watch him take an inside release. Now look what happens here. You've got a guy looking in the backfield and doesn't realize he's running into his own man. That's number 13, Ladarius Tennyson, the freshman. And that freed up Jalkio Bowman for the touchdown pass. He got away from man coverage because of a mishap guys running into each other.
Well, you mentioned it. Auburn is missing some key players, including in that defensive backfield. And they've got some young, inexperienced players who are probably going to play more snaps than usual in this game. And who knows whether that was a factor in that opening drive touchdown. We'll see if Auburn can answer after the touchback as the Tigers offense comes on the field with their sophomore Bo Nix.
Yeah, he's a talented player. There is no question about what he can do. You see his history. Everybody knows that his dad was a star at Auburn back in the day. You see his beautiful family, played for his dad in high school, and he is a playmaker. He has been the starting quarterback since the opening game of his freshman season, and he's delivered big plays. It is the consistency from down to down that they've been concerned about.
His first pass attempt of this game was tipped and incomplete. So the Mike Hankwitz defense is going to try to slow down number 10 Bo Nix. And Auburn, when he's played well, Auburn has played well. When he hasn't, this offense has struggled big time.
Well, he is dynamic. When he is able to run the ball and get on the edge, it's a problem.
Quick release. The completion to turn it upfield to set up third down and short.
You know, Flynn, this is the issue we talked about at the top of speed with Auburn. This is their attempt. They want to get to the edge. You know, they like to throw the screen passes outside. If you don't have enough numbers out there, they will just get out there and try to beat you to the edge.
Sean Shivers, who's starting at tailback for Auburn today, emptied the backfield and throw went behind him. So that was not a great second pass attempt for Bo Nix. It's fourth down, and Bo and the Auburn offense heading to the sideline. Assuming the punt team will come out, and they will.
As much as you like to be aggressive and have fun, yeah, not so much down here. Not your opening drive when you go 3 and out to try a fourth down play.
So Oscar Chapman will punt for the first time. A discouraging start, I would think, for Auburn. They saw a little bit too much of that this year. That play was there to be made. Riley Lee's very sure-handed punt returner. Driven back and let the ball bounce. Took a risk, and did he get away with it? He did. That's going to be a touchback. He went back and scooped it up, which was strange, but it was a touchback. Northwestern's going to have the ball at the 20-yard line.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
It's a constant battle. We're going to open a PDF. Who's next?
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
No fussin', no cussin', and no...
Jenna, will you marry me?
Yes! I'm engaged.
You wouldn't wait for the ring to be paid off, so why wait for car repairs? Get the repairs you need at Meineke with our Fix It Now and Pay Over Time financing. Meineke, doing car care right.
The Bachelor. Premieres Monday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Ramad Jacquio Bowman, well, he's a renaissance man. He started rapping when he was 6 when his father Scott introduced him to Wu-Tang Clan. His mother Fett exposed him to Thai music, and he later started playing the drums in a jazz band. Sick musician. He's also the team's barber, and the guy, let me tell you, gives a legit fade. Wide receiver Riley Lee's got his money worth recently. Hopefully we could see Riley with his helmet off. And gentlemen, I've been cutting hair since I'm in 5th grade. I know a good barber when I see one. Jacquio Bowman's one.
You checked out Paul's fade?
He got tightened up, I think, for New Year's Day. Ramad is a remarkable young man. He's already made some big plays for Northwestern in this first quarter. A tough first down run. Not for much yardage for the Wildcats as they get the ball for the third time. Well, he is a team leader, that's for sure. We talked about his role in setting the protocols for player safety in the Big Ten Conference. His leadership role with young players on offense, helping keep. I mean, Northwestern did not have a single positive COVID test this year.
Crazy.
They had some contact tracing stuff. They had a game wiped out when Minnesota had COVID problems, and there's our man with another catch for the Northwestern first down.
Yeah, well, when you can dance, you know how to use your feet when you get near the sidelines. Now, watch this little tap dance as he gets this ball in his hands, and he knows he's near the sideline. Watch this thing here. Get him down. 1-2. Nicely done.
Pretty good coverage from Nehemiah Pritchett, who's a talented defensive back. Now Porter takes a direct snap. And again, those plays, when they've tried to get to the perimeter, have not worked.
Nope. Not going to work. You know, we've been saying that since the start of the game. When you run wide against this team, you are asking for trouble because there is too much speed and quickness to get to the edge. And Auburn felt that way. They've certainly felt strongly going in that wasn't going to hurt them.
Smoke Monday, one of the great names in college football. Jamie and Sherwood, who is playing. There were some rumors out there that he was going to opt out of this game, but number 20, very good defensive back, playing safety for Auburn in this Citrus Bowl. It's 2nd and 14. Ramsey escaping, and he throws another ball away.
This might be the all-name team in college football. You know, Smoke Monday, Tank. They got a few of them.
How about the Big Cat? I love the Big Cat.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Markavius is Big Cat's given first name, but even his mom calls him Big Cat now.
Right.
So these are not just little, you know, in-team nicknames. These are the names that these guys use in day-to-day life, and it's a team full of big personalities, talented players. This has been an up-and-down year for Auburn. Ramsey on 3rd and long. He's going to try to run for it, and he will get tackled in Auburn territory, but well short of first down. This is a part of the field where Pat Fitzgerald has a tendency to be aggressive. We'll see.
And he's keeping him out there. He's looking like he will give it a go here.
Ramsey took a hit, and he was a little stunned, I think, and maybe just limping as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Northwestern on 4th and 8 is going for it.
Well, they've been beating man coverage when they've gotten it.
Ramsey on 4th down will throw across the middle. Nice delivery. That's a conversion inside the 30. Riley Lease, first down, Northwestern.
Yeah, they went man coverage on the outside, zone inside, and Riley Lease does a nice job of just getting behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties to pick up the first down. Really well designed. They got the coverage they knew they could beat, weren't worried about the man coverage, found the zone inside.
I mean, Pat Fitzgerald loves to go for it on 4th down no matter what, but I'd love it in a bowl game when a coach takes some chances.
Well, it makes your players happy about it. You get excited about that.
Ramsey throws on the move. In stride inside the 20, tripped up around the 15-yard line, but another game that I think gets enough for a Northwestern first down.
You know, the deal for Auburn right now is to not get overwhelmed by this start. You know, they haven't done anything on offense. Northwestern's having their way with them, with their offense, but you just can't give in to that right now.
Ray Nero with that catch. Now a little dump down to Porter, who's got it inside the 10 and is spun down at around the 6. It's going to be 1st and goal Northwestern. They actually did not give a first down on that previous play, so now Northwestern gets the first down. It's 1st and goal.
Yeah, Cam Porter out of the backfield. And down here in this area, you will see a little quarterback run, little wildcat. That gives you the extra blocker since you have someone involved and the quarterback isn't slipping away. You got him with the ball now. Here's Porter.
Ready to take the direct snap. He does. Goes straight ahead, right into a wall. Nothing there.
Again, if you're Auburn, you know you got to hang in there and then get through this and say, hey, you know what? Bad start for us. Let's turn it up a notch.
It's amazing. Colby Wooden and company up front. Auburn's got some very talented players up front on defense. They already look a little beat up by this Northwestern offensive line.
Well, they are missing some guys up front.
They're not as deep as they usually are. Rain, the tight end in motion. Ramsey on the move with a block. Rain with the catch. And he reaches for the pylon. Touchdown, Northwestern.
That is John Rain, the tight end, who just slipped out, got to the edge. Ramsey finds him, and you see coming over late to the play, again, trying to get Smoke Monday from the inside out to that part of the field. Tough job for Auburn and Northwestern, all in control right now.
Grad transfer from FAU back in the state of Florida. John Rain's been a big part of this Northwestern team in 2020. It's his 2nd touchdown of the season. Extra point coming.
How about Ramsey's start?
A great start for Peyton Ramsey.
Well, if you're named Peyton.
And he was named after the Peyton. Extra point up and good. In a lot of ways, Rod, it was set up by Pat Fitzgerald, willing to go for it near midfield on 4th and 8.
Yeah, and look at again the protection. Ramsey has had plenty of time all day, and that window open in the zone behind the linebackers in front of the safeties, and you come right back, slipping your tight end Rain out to the flat, and Ramsey's on target. I mean, he's having a heck of a start to this game.
Well, if you like to play the game of Big Ten SEC power versus speed, right now it's been power football in this first quarter. Sometimes maybe those stereotypes get played up a little too much. In this game, I think they fit.
I think, you know, motivation overrides the narrative, the stereotypes about speed versus power. You know, right now we're seeing Northwestern do some things athletically, you know, that speedy teams do. I mean, Jacko Bowman has been cleaning them out. Jalkeo Bowman.
Wildcats will kick it deep. 14-0 Northwestern. That's going to be another touchback in the end zone. Well, our presentation of the ESPN NFL wildcard game will be broadcast across 5 different networks. It's the debut of the megacast in the NFL playoffs. The game we don't yet know, either January 9th or 10th, broadcast on ABC right here, ESPN, ESPN2, Freeform, and ESPN Deportes. All right, Auburn's offense got to get it revved up. They have not been impressive so far. Missing Tank Bigsby, handoff, left side run, and that's a positive first down play for an Auburn team playing for a guy who's been around this Auburn program for several years now. The interim head coach for this Citrus Bowl game, Kevin Steele, after Coach Malzahn was let go immediately after the final regular season game. 2nd and 5, and Nix, nice delivery on the move for a big gain. The best play of the day for Auburn, out to midfield.
Elijah Canyon, number 17 from the slot, makes that catch. Little run pass option there. Something that Northwestern was concerned about because their linebackers are so focused on the run, they come up.
Wide open, the receiver running down the middle of the field, but Bo Nix had already started to scramble off to the left, and he gets into Northwestern territory inside the 45.
Auburn needs to get Seth Williams involved in the game. He's a premier receiver, and he has not even been targeted as far as I can tell.
Northwestern's playing without its best cover corner, Greg Newsom, who got hurt in the Big Ten championship game and maybe could have played. His head coach said no. He's going to be a high NFL draft pick, and Pat Fitzgerald said, you're not healthy, you're not going to play in this bowl game. Nix checks down the open field tackle. It is a first down gain, though, for Auburn. Hard for things to be going better for number 14 Northwestern in the first quarter of this Verbo Citrus Bowl, which has come to the end. The pregame huddle might have been the highlight so far for Auburn. We'll return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. It's the Verbo Citrus Bowl as we start the second quarter. Dave Fleming, Rod Gilmore, Paul Carcaterra, all Northwestern so far. 14-0. They're going to pitch it back to Bo Nix, but everybody was covered downfield until now. A good job by the young quarterback to find an open target. His tight end, John Samuel Schenker, for a nice game.
Stayed alive and got the ball to him. I think it would have been really awkward as you take a look at this play again. You know, a little pitch back, a little trickeration, and Nick stays alive long enough to get the ball to his tight end. But it was going to be awkward to have Kevin Steele on that staff, given that he was a candidate and all the things that went on during the search. It was a convoluted search for a while, and I would say that they hit a home run with it coming out of it, but there were a lot of Auburn fans who were concerned as the search began and continued on that they weren't sure where it was going, but I think it certainly got saved, and they got a home run with Hiram Harsin.
Well, we hope that Xavion Capers from Alpharetta, Georgia, true freshman wide receiver, made the first down catch and really was not feeling good. We hope that ultimately he's okay. First down Auburn. This is the deepest into Northwestern territory that the Tigers have been. Let's go down to Paul Carcaterra.
Well, Dave, it looks like a left foot injury for Capers. A promising young freshman, 6'4", a speedster on the outside, and tried to walk his way to the locker room. Couldn't do it on his own with the trainer's help. The cart's out here. Give you more in a minute, and it's a big loss for them, especially when they don't have Anthony Schwartz, who's the track All-American, who opted out. So Capers, along with Seth Williams, that was their shot on the outside.
Yeah, that's a good point. No Tank Bigsby for this game because of medical reasons. No specific reason given. We're thinking about Xavier, and hopefully he'll be all right. Auburn has yet to convert a third down in this Citrus Bowl. It's 3rd and 9.
Williams up top. He needs to be targeted again.
Pressure comes straight up the middle. Nix flipped it, somehow got rid of the ball. And that running back who caught it, Shivers, made one man miss, but not the rest of the Northwestern defense. So that play loses yardage. Bo Nix did great work to get away, but it didn't amount to much.
Adebore coming in there, putting some pressure on him. You know, Hankiewicz has done a nice job of just timing his pressures and blitzes. You see also Gallagher coming in, really harassing Nix, but it's been well timed as we get a 50-yard field goal attempt here.
Well, Anders Carlson is one of the better place kickers in college football. Got a huge leg. Going to try to put Auburn on the board. Good snap and hold, and that kick is right on through. Beautifully booted. Man, there's that leg for Anders Carlson.
I bet his brother is proud. That's a kicking family.
I would think Daniel is watching and smiling after that. Looked like an NFL kick from young Anders, who someday would like to join his brother, I'm sure, at that level. 14-3 off. Well, so the SEC is having a tough start to this New Year's Day. Look, Georgia missing a lot of players. Auburn's missing a lot of players. You always talk about that in bowl games, but good for Cincinnati. They wanted to make a statement about being not just left out, but not even really considered for the college football playoff. They're making some kind of statement.
Look, it was pretty clear what the committee was doing when Cincinnati got jumped by 2-loss Iowa State, and then they subsequently got jumped by 2-loss Florida, 2-loss Georgia. You know, Cincinnati has a right to be upset, and if they're taking it out on Georgia, good for them. They were ticked off.
Carlson kicked that one almost as hard as he kicked his field goal.
How great is New Year's Day? I mean,
best day, with that. Best day of the year in college football.
Wake up, great games all day.
One of the best days of the year on the sports calendar. Ramsey flips it short to Porter, turns it upfield. Nice little screen game to the running back, who's really been bottled up carrying the ball to Cam Porter with the catch and run for a Northwestern first down.
I tell you, Ramsey has been on fire today. I mean, he started 6 of 6. He's been good inside the pocket, outside the pocket as well.
I mean, if you said that Northwestern was going to have 23 rushing yards almost at halftime, I think you would have not thought that they'd be in with a 14-3 lead against a team like Auburn. They have not been able to run the ball, and it hadn't mattered.
Yeah, because of him. I mean, Ramsey's done a nice job. That offensive line has kept Auburn away from him. Every time Auburn brings pressure, when they go 5 or more, they've been able to pick it up.
Great numbers for Peyton Ramsey. Yeah, there's a big question for this Northwestern team. We don't know what he's going to do at the end of this year, whether he's coming back or not. Ramsey will run and duck out of bounds. Big Cat Bryant was in the neighborhood, so best when Big Cat is around to get to the sideline.
No doubt. How cool is it that his name is Peyton? He was named after Peyton Manning. He said he realized it at a pretty young age, and he's pretty good at football, and people were always saying, yeah, he's that Peyton guy. And the family has a thing about quarterback names.
I give Mom and Dad credit. Peyton was still in college when Peyton Manning was when Peyton Ramsey was born. And that's some good scouting. Not that it took a genius to know Peyton Manning was going to be an all-time great, but it took a little guts to name your kid after him while he was still at Tennessee. Ramsey steps up and throws across. That one is caught, but a good open field tackle. Now another Auburn player is down, a couple yards short of the first down. That's Marco Domio holding his hip or his lower back. All right, you mentioned the names. All three brothers in the Ramsey family named after quarterbacks.
So here's the one that gets me. That's Drew Bledsoe. That's not Drew Brees.
See, they should have been watching more Purdue games back then. doing a little extra scouting.
You got to believe Drew Bledsoe is looking and going, yeah. Drew Brees is like, really? What?
Well, it's a great football family. Doug is he's too young to be called legendary, but a hugely accomplished high school coach in Cincinnati. Good to see Marco get up for Auburn. Peyton Ramsey's playing well so far in this Citrus Bowl.
Yeah, we talked about the protection he's gotten, and it was evident on the 35-yard touchdown pass to Jalkeo Bowman. And remember that 4th down conversion he got to Lees, kept that drive alive, so they came right back with a touchdown pass to Rain. He's been good inside the pocket. He's been excellent outside of the pocket. He's been as good as you could have expected.
You know, players not seeing their friends and family for months and months at a time. We heard from a lot of players saying, I haven't eaten a meal that wasn't given to me in a cardboard box for 3 months. They've been through a lot.
Daily testing. Wake up and go find the swabs. If someone gives you a test every morning, eating out of the to-go boxes, telling your friends and family, sorry, can't see you.
And look, are there greater hardships across the country and across the world right now? There are. I'm not trying to overstate what these players have gone through. They're still well taken care of. They still have their football family around. But it has been a true sacrifice to get games in this season.
Well, and the uncertainty, not knowing from week to week whether your team was going to play or if you could play or whether your parents could come watch you play, even though they couldn't see you after the game. All of that was trying for all the players.
So Auburn gets the ball back, still plenty of time, and they find Seth Williams for a catch and a gain of about 7 on first down. Let's go down to Kark.
You guys mentioned about the sacrifices, and it's staggering when you think of Northwestern. No positive cases. When we spoke to Patty Fisher yesterday, his leadership and his perspective and the way that he looked at things throughout this 2020 season. Not only a leader on the field, 392 career tackles. It's the most in the FBS. He's a leader in the locker room.
Bo Nix ducked away from a bigger hit, but a penalty flag is thrown. In fact, a couple of them are.
There is no targeting on the play. Number 5 is not disqualified from the game.
Yeah, they take the penalty off. It's just a first down scramble for the sophomore quarterback, Bo Nix, trying to help Auburn get closer in this game. It looked like this had a chance to be a blowout early. It was 14-0 Northwestern in the first quarter. Auburn has stabilized. Nix throws across the middle. Hits one of his tight ends, Brandon Frazier, for a gain out to the 40.
What's missing for Auburn are the big plays. And Schwartz isn't there. Tank isn't there. Williams hasn't been out there an awful lot. They haven't been able to get the chunk plays. And their offense has always been built around those chunk plays. This Northwestern defense is a bend but don't break defense, and they've eliminated the chunk plays.
Stove gave in motion, but they faked a more standard handoff and let Nix get the first down himself toward the sideline. He's unhappy. I think he's unhappy with the Northwestern player, Brandon Joseph, the freshman All-American. These two are going after each other there.
Yeah. How are you doing? Happy New Year to you, too.
I'm not a lip reader from this far away. I don't think that's what was said.
I've watched a lot of your games. You guys are good. I'm good, too.
Bo Nix was not happy.
And Bo Nix is not backing down to anyone.
No. That slam pass caught by Samuel Schenker, the tight end, into Northwestern territory. Still plenty of time on the clock. Auburn being fairly deliberate. They can be. They have timeouts. They have still more than 2 minutes to go. You know, we had Brian Harsin on earlier in this second quarter. A huge task for him is going to be to unlock all that Bo Nix talent, get the passing game more consistent. We know what he can do with his legs, with his athleticism, but game to game, help Bo take that next step to being an elite quarterback.
Well, you're right. You know, as we watched him on tape, and you know, we talked about this, he has a tendency to leave the pocket when he doesn't have to. And you'd like for him to stay in the pocket a little bit longer, wait for his receiver. You know, he's got great legs, but don't take off when you don't have to. You can make big plays in the passing game.
Brian Harson's a really good quarterback coach. Nix from the pocket went deep, way up high, and that one is incomplete. Williams, I think, ran a different route than what Nix was expecting. It's incomplete. All right, thank you, Matt. Nix throws, and wide open along the sideline. Shedrick Jackson, catch, ducks out of bounds. First down, Auburn. Let me ask you a quick follow-up question. Look, a lot of this has to do with who's playing and who's not playing. Florida gets absolutely blown out. Georgia losing in their home state to Cincinnati. Auburn not playing particularly well so far in this game. Give you any pause about the SEC with Alabama scheduled to play after we're done?
No. No.
Nix trying to jump over top the man who just was called for the penalty, A.J. Hampton. That wasn't a great idea.
Oh, man, you have to make sure that guy is going down. And Hampton is standing up. Well, that was a nice little decoy by Hampton. Yeah, I'll fake like I'm going down. I'm standing up here to get you. Nice play.
All right, it's not been all doom and gloom for Auburn so far. You can still have some fun, even down 14-3. A chance to make the game feel different going into the locker room at halftime. 52 seconds on the clock. Nix with a lot of time now takes off. Bo Nix with that speed cuts back left and gets run out of bounds.
A score here would be huge for Auburn. You know, you look at it and you'd say, look, we haven't played great. We get a touchdown here. You're down 4 with the entire second half to go when you haven't played your best. But that means you got to give your playmakers a chance. And whether that is Williams on the bottom here, if you get him in single coverage, or if it is Stowe, get him working to the inside, you got a chance.
Big play, third down. Nix throws. That one is caught. And Stowe fighting. I think he got there. He turned it upfield and used some power. Now the spot was real close. They're going to stop the clock, I'm sure, to try to determine whether that's a first down. Okay, now they gave it to him.
What an effort by Stowe. One of the playmakers we talked about here today. Runs off the coverage and then does a great job of making sure that Cameron Mitchell can't get his arms around him and keep him from the first down. A little yak with the yards after contact there.
It'll be first and goal, Auburn, with 1 timeout remaining and 37 seconds on the clock. Nix on first and goal throws one, and that is knocked away incomplete.
Oh, Cameron Mitchell. Freshman making a big play.
They love him.
Oh, well, that's a good example of why. I mean, he's got to chase his man across the field. That is cannon that he's on. And look at this. Get up there and rip that ball out.
Greg Newsome is off to the NFL. They think Cam Mitchell's their next star at that defensive back spot. Second and goal here. Nix. Their throw toward the corner of the end zone, incomplete. Trying to get it to Williams. Now it's third and goal.
Yeah, that fade route is one of the lower percentage throws that you have in football, but it's very popular. When you have a guy like Seth Williams who can get up there, you have to make sure you give him a chance. You cannot overthrow that. If you're short with it, it's okay. It'll give him a chance.
That one he had no chance. Nix in the pocket, on the move, throws, and it is caught, incomplete, out of bounds. Seth Williams saying he was in and then got shoved out, but he's not winning that argument, at least not before replay takes a look.
Nothing to see there that would suggest that he was in bounds.
So Northwestern's defense forces the field goal try with 21 seconds on the clock. Carlson, just a little chip shot for him right down the middle. For a very talented kicker. Carlson's 2 for 2. Give Auburn credit, they're hanging around. It's 14-6 at halftime. When we return, the guys in New Orleans will take over after this message and a word from our ABC stations. It's the Verbo Citrus Bowl, a part of Capital One Bowl Mania. On this gorgeous New Year's Day 2021 in Orlando, Florida, we get ready for the start of the second half. Northwestern out of the Big Ten with a 14-6 lead over Auburn from the SEC. Dave Fleming, Rod Gilmore, great to have you back with us. Rod, I thought, look, Auburn gets some credit for hanging around, but I thought overall really impressive first half from the Wildcats.
Yeah, it was a first half dominated by Northwestern in just about every phase of the game, but Auburn is still within striking distance if they can generate some offense, some big plays.
And by the end of the first half, the total yardage wasn't quite as unbalanced, but Peyton Ramsey very accurate with the football. Bo Nix not quite as accurate, especially when he went downfield. Auburn did not complete a pass of 15 yards or more.
Yeah, and they need those big plays. Now remember, they are missing Schwartz. They do have Seth Williams available, so the big plays are missing from the offense. And if you're an Auburn fan, you're hoping that you can find it on the perimeter or that Bo Nix can get loose and make something happen.
Northwestern missing some key players themselves, but that doesn't appear to have been as big of a factor for the Wildcats. For more on that first half, let's go down to Kark.
Well, when I caught up with Pat Fitzgerald, he was pumped. He really loved the way Peyton Ramsey was playing, distributing the ball, and really getting multiple receivers involved in the game. He wants the run game to get going, though. Only 21 yards in that first half. Finishing the blocks will be key. Red zone defense rock solid, but in the second half, he's concerned about Bo Nix in the quarterback run game. Have to finish tackles when Tenon White is toting the rock.
Okay, good stuff, Kark, and he's toting the rock on first down here. Nix took a hit as he lowered his shoulder and sort of initiated that contact, got 2, maybe 3 yards.
On cue, there is the quarterback run game, and it's a great guess by Fitzgerald because nothing else is working for Auburn in the run game. You have no tank.
Pitch play out to the right side, a big hit at the end of that play, but Shivers, who can dish it out. I mean, he is, some people will call him the biggest little guy in college football. He's not big of stature, but he is a more powerful runner than you would think.
That's exactly right. He runs with a lot of authority. He doesn't get tackled as much as he delivers a blow on contact. He's only about 180 pounds, 5'7".
Fort Lauderdale kid back in his home state here in Orlando. 1st and 10 Auburn. Left side, turned upfield. Auburn's starting to make some gains on the ground. Shivers again outside the 40.
See how patient they can be because, you know, they don't have the ability to get the chunk plays. No Schwartz, you know, no real ability to get the ball deep. And can they be patient? You see Shivers' numbers. If you can take the small gains and turn it into a long drive.
Take another small gain. Big hit at the end by Cam Mitchell, but a nice catch for Shedrick Jackson and good enough for a first down Auburn.
Well, Chad Morris told us yesterday that over the last 7 games, they'd had 25 drives of 10-plus plays or more. That's what they need now. They're being challenged to just do it a little bit at a time.
Chad Morris, offensive coordinator, one-time head coach at SMU and Arkansas. Probably a one and done for him at Auburn. Likely not going to be a part of Brian Harson's staff. Good play in the backfield from Ernest Brown, senior, playing his final game with Northwestern.
Had a good career at Northwestern. Yeah, think about this senior class at Northwestern. A couple of Big Ten West titles, played in some big bowl games.
Well, just on the defensive side of the ball, Pace, Gallagher, Fisher, Brown, Spivak, Sanders, now wide open down the right sideline. There's a big play in the pass game. Still going. What a catch and run for Elijah Canyon. Touchdown, Auburn. "57 yards, and the last 33 was Canyon on his own."
Unbelievable. A defense that rarely has a fundamental mistake had one here, as you see, completely all by himself. Canyon running free. Hampton, who was the defenders of that side, was a good 10 yards behind him.
Auburn's going to kick the extra point, not go for 2 here in the third quarter, and it's up and good. Tigers within 1. Finally, a big play through the air for Auburn.
A little patience. Here you see a blown assignment. Who comes in? Who's got the coverage? No help deep. And get off me. I got an end zone in sight.
Well, a lot of great moments in the history of the Citrus Bowl, including Auburn, Ronnie Brown with a spectacular play, game-winning touchdown back in 2003. Georgia Tech beat Nebraska and claimed a share of the national title based on their win in the Citrus Bowl. And I think, look, the Rose Bowl's got a great logo, but to me, that's my favorite logo.
Yeah.
Of the bowl season.
Truth be known, we could come back here every year and be very happy.
Great spot. Especially on a day like today, where it's 80 degrees. There are a few little puffy clouds in the sky, but what a way to ring in 2021 in Orlando. And we got a ball game. It was 14-0 early. Northwestern looked like they were on their way to a romp. Not the case, not at all. That's going to be a touchback in the Capital One Orange Bowl. Texas A&M and North Carolina. Who's going to play for the Tar Heels? So many of their top players are not going to play in that game, but just a remarkably good job done by our friend and colleague Mac Brown. In a couple of years, he's got North Carolina into arguably their biggest bowl game in decades. Porter gets the carry on first down. Even when you think there's a hole in an opening, and Smoke Monday's playing a heck of a game. He was right there to close that hole up.
He has been dynamic, and he's been dynamic all year long. I mean, I tell you, that pick he had, that pick six, 100 yards, that was one of the defensive plays of the year.
Indeed it was. Second and 8. Ramsey play fake. Ramsey will throw middle, and it is caught. What a catch by the tight end, Rain. In traffic with good coverage there. He snatched it away for a Northwestern first down.
I didn't know he had that in him. Here you see on the right side, Rain coming out and getting up to make that play.
This is a play you've referenced a couple times. Smoke Monday, I think one of the defensive plays of the year in college football.
Yeah, we dream about plays like this. I mean, not only does he show great hands, but great speed, instincts, gets a little help from his teammates, couple of blocks, but that's a ball that's going in for a touchdown, and it goes the other way for Auburn. One of the plays of the year.
Our friend Joe Tessitore, who made the call on that game and emphasized the smoke part of Smoke Monday's name on that return. My son, that's now his favorite college football player just because of the name.
He's not the only one. There are a whole lot of folks that are fans of Smoke Monday because of that play.
Smoke Monday's got 7 tackles, including 2 behind the line of scrimmage in this game. That's Evan Hull coming around the edge. He got knocked out of bounds after getting 3 yards on first down. Close to midfield, Northwestern could use when they moved the ball the last time they had it, and then botched the 4th down attempt and got nothing to show for it.
Well, let's see if they are a little bit more basic this time and not cute or overthinking it.
Ramsey going to roll right. Ramsey really playing a heck of a game. Just threw that one away.
Smart play. Smart play.
Big question for Northwestern whether he's going to be back next year. I think if he's back, I mean, look, college football is so different than it used to be. Who knows who could end up being the quarterback of this team if he's not. But if he is, I think that changes the outlook for the Wildcats in 2021.
You know what makes things really different? The transfer portal. I mean, Pat Fitzgerald said he wants to know, he's giving his guys time to decide whether they stay or leave, and then he's going to go out and fill holes.
He's asked his quarterbacks to let him know right after this game, maybe not immediately after. That pass complete, and the open field tackle to fight for the first down. Very close. And Jockio Bowman, he was not going to go down easily, and he got real close. The spot. And they say first down Northwestern. What a great individual effort that was.
Back to your point, with the new transfer rules, you can get a guy, you can get a quarterback like they did this year with Ramsey, who can come in and be eligible right away.
So, final 2 minutes of the third quarter on this beautiful Orlando day, New Year's Day 2021. Porter in the backfield, and they have Porter set up to take a direct snap, but they're going to bring Ramsey into the backfield. So we'll see. They give it to Ramsey, who's going to back up and look to throw. Ramsey down the left sideline, almost like a back shoulder throw. Maybe that was just throwing the ball away.
Yeah, well, he had him. You know, he waited a little bit too long, and then he was off because he had a shot at Cam Porter. Porter got a couple of strides on the linebacker covering him, and had the ball been thrown out ahead of him, just let him go run after it. Let him go try to go get it.
We watched during warm-ups, Cam Porter. I mean, look, Northwestern fans even are still getting to know their true freshman running back who really emerged late in the year, but he was running pass patterns and showing off speed and hands as a receiver. They fake it to Porter here. Ramsey now on the move with a penalty flag thrown, probably a hold. Ramsey throws it away.
Personal foul, illegal hands to the face, defense. Number 3.
Wow.
15-yard penalty, first down.
Zacchaeus Walker, true freshman, really talented player. You're going to hear more from him in the years to come for Auburn, but that's a big penalty.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of playing time because Tyrone Truesdell is out this game.
No question about that penalty.
Yeah, right in the middle of your screen against 66, Nick Urban. Hands right to the face. You know, you're talking about Cam Porter. He has really come on this year, and they've had a couple of running backs leave because, I think, because of his play, and he's the guy. I mean, Drake Anderson, Isaiah Bowser are both gone. They both left the program.
It's not putting blame on Porter. That one was sort of destined to be blown up right from the start. McClain with a beautiful read. And Northwestern, in some ways, is lucky that wasn't even worse. Second down.
Yeah, McClain is not the biggest linebacker at about 210 pounds, but man, he brings it when he gets there. He's quick, fast, athletic, and he hits you.
Well, he's the next in line. I mean, KJ Britt will go down as one of the great Auburn linebackers of all time. His Auburn career comes to an end this year and missed most of the year with injuries. In the last part of the year, Ramsey down the right sideline toward the end zone. It is caught, but out of bounds. So caught, but no touchdown. Bryce Kurtz hauled it in, but he couldn't get a foot down.
Yeah, the redshirt freshman was out there. Ramsey puts his ball too far towards the sideline. A little bit more inside in the field of play. Kurtz gets that ball. Gets it in the end zone. Good coverage by Simpson.
Peyton Ramsey's accuracy has started to wobble a little bit. It's the part of the field. We've said it over and over today. Northwestern goes for it on fourth down as much as anybody. They certainly have in this game, so we'll see. Ramsey will step up, and he's going to run with a lot of green in front. He's going to get the first down and more inside the 10. Ramsey, touchdown Northwestern.
Decision. There's man coverage everywhere. You see it. And when that happens, there's nobody with eyes on the quarterback. He gets out of the pass rush lanes and into the end zone. Man coverage ran everybody out of the field, and Ramsey recognized it right away and took off. Great decision.
Point up and good. Northwestern needed that for a game where for most of this one it has felt like the Wildcats have dominated. That expands the lead up to 8.
Look at all the man coverage, and you see a safety in the middle of the field. This entire area is open. No eyes on Ramsey at all. Makes the right decision, takes off, and here comes your free safety. And he puts a nice little move to buy a little bit of time. Jordan Peters can't get over there to make the play. Great decision making. Nice little shake at the end there, too.
It was. I mean, he deserves some credit. Again, you know, Bo Nix is the more heralded scrambling quarterback, and Bo's one of the best at it in college football. That was going to be a first down. You did a good job diagnosing. That was going to be 10 yards plus, but that was not always going to be a touchdown. Right. He turned it into one.
Yeah, that shake at the end was pretty good. One-on-one. Makes a really good safety, and Jordan Peters miss him at the end.
This has to be one of the great games that Peyton Ramsey has ever played. He's had a lot of starting experience both at Indiana and Northwestern. He's 21 of 32. He's thrown for 270 and a couple touchdowns. Now he's rushed for 50 yards and a touchdown.
I agree. Look, he was really good in Indiana.
He was.
He was a really good player. Michael Penix came in, beat him out after he had started for 2 years. And he hung in there that 1 year, and then Penix got hurt. And after last year, he said, you know what? I'm too good to be sitting on the sideline.
game didn't start all that well. Auburn's trying to write a similar script here in Orlando, where they got down 14-0 right away, had it within a point. Now they're down 21-13. Bo Nix had nowhere to go. Blake Gallagher. Patty Fisher sometimes gets a little more credit. He just piles up all those tackles and numbers for Northwestern. But number 51 has had a great Northwestern career, and he's had a really nice Citrus Bowl.
I saw him against Nebraska. He had 14 tackles in that Nebraska game.
Play fake. Nix is going to throw, and that was an excellent catch along the sideline with coverage for the tight end, John Samuel Schenker.
Are you kidding me? I mean, he did that like a wide receiver. I mean, Schenker waited to the very last second to put his hands out so the defensive back would not know the ball was coming.
The pressure came. Nix got rid of it to Elijah Canyon, who's got one of the highlight plays for Auburn. That was a much more modest gain, just a few yards on first down. Call it 3.
Auburn recognizes they can do some things in the pass game. They have no choice. The rushing attack has been hamstrung. No Tank Bigsby today. He's been out. Anthony Schwartz heading apparently to the NFL, although I think he's an Olympian too.
True Olympic world-class speed. Shivers gets the carry and gets right to midfield, maybe a half a yard shy of that on what was probably the final play of the third quarter in Orlando. And it will be. We got a good ball game with the college football playoff semifinals still to come. Some drama at the Verbose Citrus Bowl. We go to quarter number 4, 21-13, Northwestern with the lead. New Year's Day in Orlando, Florida. We go to quarter number 4, the Verbose Citrus Bowl. Northwestern with the big lead. Auburn got within a point. Now a Northwestern touchdown has a 21-13 Auburn ball right near midfield. And a big third down play at the start of the fourth quarter. 3rd and 2. Bo Nix with the receiver in motion, just hands it off straight ahead. And some power football. A push right near that line to gain. And it's going to depend on the spot.
Well, if it's not there, there's not much of a choice. Auburn's got to go for this.
Auburn's going to huddle and then probably break the huddle quickly and get right to the line.
There you go.
Under center.
There you go.
Well, he didn't have far to go, but he may not have gotten there. Northwestern diving over the top, it looked like almost. And they spun Bo Nix around. Wildcats are ready for that one. So again, it's going to depend on this spot, and I don't know.
I still like them going under center, but man, that effort by Northwestern.
I think they put the ball almost exactly where it had been.
Now watch the way Northwestern comes flying in here. Look at pace number 5 flying over the top with 42 Fisher. Now the mistake that Nix made was that he left his feet and dived.
He didn't get there.
He didn't get any momentum at all. He didn't even take a step. He just dived, and so he had no momentum going forward at all. And when he got hit in the air, that's Hankiewicz's defense. But you've got to take a step and drive toward the first down. Watch, he just jumps. He doesn't take a step. He doesn't drive at all. He just jumps in the air.
And I do wonder, we both noticed at the end of the third quarter, Bo was sort of limping around a little bit. And I wonder if he's not 100% healthy and maybe not drive, because it's a good point you make. He really didn't drive at all.
No, he did not.
He's a big, strong kid, and it does make you wonder maybe he's not 100% healthy. There's no coach, head coach, or assistant coach who's been a part of more wins than Mike Hankwitz. This would be the 400th of his coaching career if he and Northwestern can get it. They're a quarter away from doing so. Porter with the handoff, breaking tackles. Cam Porter cuts it back inside and lowers the boom at the end of the run.
You want to see a running back finish a run? Watch the end of this one. Watch Cam Porter at the end of this run. Exclamation point. Bam. Hello, Jordan Peters.
Ramsey hands off. Porter left side. Another good run for the freshman. Cam Porter ran into his own man and still wouldn't go down. Ended up getting 8, maybe 9 yards on that first down run.
Well, he had another 5 yards or so if he doesn't run into his own guy. I mean, you know, get out of my way. I don't care what color jersey you have on.
Poor Riley Lee's trying to hang in there with a back injury, and he just got smoked in the back.
How's Riley Lee even back out there?
I don't know. He crumpled to the ground a few minutes ago. Straight ahead run. Northwestern's going to try to exert their power on the ground here in the final quarter. They're going fairly quick tempo. They got Auburn on its heels. Porter again straight ahead. More tough running from the freshman Cam Porter. Now the ball at the end came out. The officials, are they making a signal? They're saying that he was down. Damian Sherwood came up with the football, but they say the play was over.
All I know is at the right side of that line, 76 Whitaker comes across with a great block, but he gets 2 of them. He helps on one and comes back and gets McLean, and that's the kind of effort with your offensive lineman that will keep a drive alive for you.
They're going to give it to 20 again. Yes, they are. And this time, Smoke Monday was there to meet Porter, but Porter did get the first down. It's going to be 1st and goal Northwestern.
I gotta love it. There's nothing fancy about what's going on right now. It is Northwestern coming at them, and it is Auburn lining up, bringing their safeties, going, all right, man to man, here we go.
Porter had 26 yards all game. He's got 44 on this drive. He's got a few more here. Pushing to the goal line. Stopped just a little bit short. And I would be shocked if Northwestern does anything but give the ball to number 20 to try to let him finish this thing off.
Why would you change it up? This is just like a goal line stand in practice where you just run it over and over.
2nd and goal. Snap it right to Porter. Porter bounces it. Touchdown. That was the Cam Porter drive for Northwestern. He just walked in. And with some help, as you pointed out, from the big guys up front.
We talked about the narrative, SEC speed, Big Ten power. This drive, there's your Big Ten power.
That was some macho football right there. From Porter, from the offensive lineman, from Northwestern's team. Extra point, up and good. Cam Porter. Auburn, for most of this game, has done a good job against Porter.
Yeah, not so much on the ground in the first half, but Porter alive in the second half. And, man, he's making Auburn pay. And guess what? That's Big Ten power for you. And they're up.
28-13 Northwestern looking for a capper to what has been an outstanding year. If they finish this one off, I think you'd have to say, even with all the chaos of 2020, that this has been one of the great Northwestern teams of all time. And they're looking like it here in this Citrus Bowl. Peyton Ramsey and his offense, super impressive. They've got the lead over Auburn.
How about Northwestern generally? Men's basketball, women's basketball,
and football, all 3 in the current top 20 in the polls. That doesn't happen very often in Evanston.
I think you're telling me Northwestern's become a jock school.
Bo Nix is going to get away somehow. That was a magic trick. And he throws across the middle, incomplete. Let's go down to Paul Carcaterra.
Bo Nix, tough as nails, always a fighter. He's not right. I've been monitoring him on the sideline when he was out. When his defense was on the field, it's the back of his left leg hamstring area.
Yeah, he's going down.
Cord Sandberg. You see Nix on the field right now. This is a tough thing to look at because you know how hard he fights. You know how he wants to be there for his teammates. I also saw Cord Sandberg warming up before. Cord Sandberg's an interesting story. Dave Fleming's your kind of guy. He's a baseball guy. 3rd round in the MLB draft in 2013. Spent 6 years with the Phillies organization. He's a lefty. But Bo Nix, you'd have to think the right thing for him right now in this program moving forward, shut it down.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, it's hard to see, but Bo Nix is sitting on the bench, and it took a long time for him to get off the turf. It's hot. He's exhausted, banged up. This was the play where Nix got away, but ultimately went down.
Yeah, when he went down, it was not good. You see the limp there. He's had issues, as Paul reported, left hamstring and a little bit of the right knee, and he was in a fair amount of pain.
So Cord Sandberg, who is the backup, throws a screen pass to Seth Williams, and that was delivered nicely on 2nd and 10 for a gain of 9. Grant Loy, who usually is the primary backup for Auburn, is out with medical. Cord, maybe 24 was his baseball number. You don't usually see quarterbacks use number 24. Sandberg, that play was blown up from the start, and the ball is on the turf. Northwestern says they have it. We have had no signal yet, but I think they have it.
There's also a flag.
Okay, there's that too.
There is no flag on the play. There was a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Northwestern.
And an eruption from all the Northwestern fans here on their sideline. The Wildcats can feel it now.
We talk about motivation and the impact it has in bowl games. Here you see the hit from the edge, the big play coming right off the edge to make that play. While Shivers tried to handle the ball, Jordan Butler came in and met him and knocked the ball out.
Young and old, Jordan Butler, a true freshman. Then you got Blake Gallagher and Ernest Brown, the seniors, who were there to help with the tackle and the fumble recovery for the senior Ernest Brown. Well, they bullied the ball in the end zone last time. Let's see if they try to do it again. And off Porter. Cut back. This time Auburn was there.
Let me ask you a question. You're Brian Harsin. What do you think of what you've seen as you're here at the stadium evaluating your team? What's your reaction to what you've seen so far?
Yeah, number one, my initial answer is it's hard to evaluate this game. I mean, this program it has been through a lot all year, but in the last couple of weeks, and with the turnover at the head coach spot, I think it's hard to say we're going to get a real Auburn performance today. But that said, if I were Brian Harsin, I would be excited about it. I got a lot of individually talented players, but we have some work to do as a collective whole.
Yeah, and if I were Brian Harsin, I would be thrilled with the character, the effort, the fight that he's seen from these players today. I mean, after the first quarter, it would have been easy for Auburn to go, you know what, not our day. And they've clawed and they fought to get back in this, and they were certainly popping some pads. Northwestern has just been dialed in from play one.
Bo Nix goes in the injury tent. Big Cat is still out there playing at the end of his Auburn career. Porter bounces it left side. Cam Porter, true freshman, first down and more. And I thought he stayed inbounds. This doesn't really matter. They stop the clock just to reset, and then it'll wind again.
A little sense of Auburn getting a little bit tired on defense. In the first half of this game, Northwestern couldn't get to the edge, couldn't get to the outside. Now they're able to get there.
Great all-around performance for the Wildcats. Colby Wooden had an excellent freshman season, number 25 in the middle of that Auburn defense. He's had a quiet Citrus Bowl. Northwestern wants to take as much time as they can now. Hand off Porter. A one-man miss. Gets wrestled to the turf. Jamian Sherwood still in the game. Could well be the final game that he plays at Auburn. To your point about Coach Harsin, it could be a lot of roster turnover for the Tigers.
Yeah, there were a number of players who there was some speculation about whether they would leave for the NFL, and some of those players are playing in the game. The only one we knew for certain who had opted out was Schwartz, the wide receiver. Other than that, a number of players, we'll just have to wait and see.
In the history of college football, it's usually cut and dry. Usually, you know, is this his final game or isn't it?
Yeah.
Not the case this year, that's for sure. Second down, got hit hard. Jeremiah Wright with the tackle. Final 8.5 minutes from Orlando.
A lot of the young defensive linemen for Auburn getting a lot of time. Jeremiah Wright on that play. We've seen Zykevius Walker in there as well. Dre Butler. Young and talented guys.
I think you'd have to say for Auburn's season, considering the guys they lost to the NFL from last year, that defensive line performed admirably. They had huge holes to fill.
Absolutely.
3rd and 7 for Peyton Ramsey. He's got Jesse Brown in the game next to him now. Ramsey throws toward the corner. Caught! Touchdown Northwestern, and Riley Lees gets to finish off his Northwestern career with a smile. It's been a tough day for him with his back locking up. But the touchdown catch, it's all Northwestern now.
What a throw by Ramsey. Great timing as Lees came out of his break. He put the ball towards the corner of the end zone for him. And there you see 1, 2, only needs 1. Easy. Did a nice job of getting over there and beating the defender, but the throw by Ramsey was perfectly on time.
Extra point up and good. Wow, what a performance. One of the great Northwestern teams of all time. And they're putting a cap on a strange but ultimately very satisfying season for the Wildcats. Riley Lees from Peyton Ramsey. Northwestern touchdown. Wildcats up big. What a day for Northwestern. One of the biggest bowl games that they've ever played in. The Verbo Citrus Bowl on New Year's Day in Orlando. And the Wildcats have just totally taken control of this one. Peyton Ramsey having a career kind of game. 3 touchdowns, no picks, 282 yards, a rushing touchdown. Jalkio Bowman, Riley Lees, 2 of the leaders on this team. They've been a big part of the offense for Northwestern.
I think Jalkio Bowman is saying, and you did it with the fresh haircut I gave you.
He did. That was hair cutter and haircutty. Talking on the sideline. The kickoff into the end zone for a touchback.
We didn't see Greg Newsome today heading to the NFL. He's a guy who, had he not been banged up, probably would have played today.
A really good young running back, some talented young offensive linemen, some depth now on the defensive line, even with graduation. A lot for Northwestern to be excited about, I think, going into next year. Bo Nix, that one in stride to Williams, who hung on to the football, took a hit at the end of the play to convert the first down.
You know, and Bo Nix is out there limping around, probably should not be out there. I'm guessing he demanded to be out there as a captain, wanted to be out there with the team through the end of this.
If you had any question about the toughness and willingness to be a leader, I mean, if I'm Brian Harsin, maybe my #1 takeaway of this whole game is, all right, there's some stuff we need to clean up with Bo, throwing the ball, maybe some technique stuff, but he's got the right stuff to lead this program. Another completion to Williams.
As they're talking Bo and Heisman, well, prior to the 2019 season at Boise State, Brian Harsin and his staff were made aware that Heisman Trophy winner and Auburn legend Bo Jackson was in Boise for business. They invited him to speak to the team. He agreed. They were over the moon with excitement. During his speech, you could hear a pin drop in the meeting room. Bo wrote a message on a dry erase board that they never took down. Do something better today than you did yesterday, and Jackson was part of that advisory committee search for the new coach, Dave.
Yeah, it's a good point, Clark. Our little headline while you were talking for those pictures that we shared when Bo Jackson visited Boise State was Bo knows Brian. You do have to think that maybe that interaction just a couple years ago with Bo having a part of the search for the new head coach maybe had something to do with Brian Harsin getting on Auburn's radar. Anyway, interesting story.
Yeah. And if he was already on the radar, I think having Bo on the committee certainly didn't hurt Harsin.
He's on everybody's radar. You're right. Nix throws short. That one is caught. The spin move, the tackle in the open field around the 25 by Patty Fisher. I give Bo Nix credit for being in this game. It's 35-13.
Yeah.
He could have stayed in that 10th.
Yeah. You know, I believe that he's going to make a jump next year. I mean, he's tough. He makes big plays. It is just the pocket presence and, you know, being consistent. And I think those are things that Brian Harsin will help him with. I think he'll be a better pocket quarterback next year.
So it's 3rd and 4 for Nix and Auburn. Northwestern's defense, you know, with Mike Hankwitz coaching his final game, they don't want to let Auburn in the end zone here. That one is incomplete. A little bit of contact, but no penalty flag thrown, so it's 4th down. And even though the game is decided now, final 5 minutes and 20 seconds for Coach Hank, I think this defense is still, they do not want to relent.
Not at all. And it's got to be a great feeling for him to coach these guys. You know, those linebackers, they absolutely love and adore him. They talked glowingly about him yesterday.
Nix, a little pump fake, trying to get away, does. Buying some more time, throws across the field, and it's caught. Nice play, Bo Nix to Jackson for an Auburn 1st down.
There are only a handful of players, handful of quarterbacks that can make a play like that.
I mean, he's operating, what is he, 50% maybe?
Yeah.
That's pretty remarkable.
He has playmaking ability. He can make the spectacular.
Tune in to the ESPN app for the Capital One postgame immediately following the game. I'm doubting that a ton of Auburn fans are going to tune in, but I would think that Northwestern fans all over the world might want to see what happens. I have to think that their defensive coordinator is going to be right in the middle of that ceremony. It was a cool thing that Northwestern did. They usually dedicate sort of the final practice of the year to the seniors. The seniors walk through the tunnel on the practice field, and instead of doing that this year, guess who came through the tunnel?
Defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Mike Hankwitz.
51 years as a college coach, and this is going to be, I mean, how can you write it up? This is going to be his 400th combined win, right on the button.
Amazing.
2nd and goal. Straight ahead run. That is DJ Williams, who plows his way into the end zone for a touchdown. So Williams gets it in, and you have to credit the sophomore quarterback for even being on the field.
Well, you want your quarterback to be your leader. You want him to be tough. And that toughness was shown by his coming back out there and Williams carrying that one in with a tough run and fighting to the end here. Here you go. 2-point conversion.
Nix will throw on the move, and a broken tackle, but Eli Stove just nowhere to go. Well defended by the Wildcats, so they don't get the conversion. They got the touchdown. And we'll take our final break here from Orlando. The celebration for the Wildcats. Final 4:41 from Orlando when we come back. Well, this game is the end of an era for Northwestern sports. Jim Phillips, the longtime athletic director, one of the best in the business. And you can see, to me, why is this guy good at his job? He's just been named the new ACC commissioner. Big job for Jim. He's going to do a great job in that chair, but he's leaving Evanston after a lot of years there. Why has he been so good? I mean, he cares deeply about his student athletes. And he is leaving Northwestern's program in a pretty good place. Onside kick. Northwestern there to recover.
He's a relationship guy.
It's not like we're not going to see Jim Phillips anymore. We will. But that is somebody who is good at what he does and cares about people. And to me, you can see that from the way he's interacting with his seniors, the guys who are playing for the final time in that Northwestern uniform.
Well, he reminds me of Dick Tomei, you know, the late great coach of Arizona, who used to say, you know, football isn't complicated. People are. And as long as you have relationships and you deal with people, you can do well. And you can have people regard you highly.
So a handoff on first down after the penalty. Final 4 minutes now from Orlando.
Well, I think Northwestern fans got concerned because of the combination of Jim Phillips leaving, the success that Fitzgerald has had here, and quite honestly, he's losing a lot of guys off of that defense that have been fantastic players over 4 years, and there might be a step back defensively next year. And so there was the natural thought of, hey, we're hearing these rumors, maybe he might leave. But I think it would take something truly extraordinary to make that happen.
We saw the shots of Mike Hankwitz. We're going to spend a lot of these last 3 minutes on him, but the head coach has a decision to make. Maybe he's already made it and just isn't telling anybody about who the next defensive coordinator has been, because that has been a huge part of the Northwestern program.
Early on the field, the runner was down before losing possession of the ball. Third down.
Mike, who played for Bo Schembechler at Michigan, was a graduate assistant for Bo. And Pat was making us laugh as he told stories of Coach Hank, as he calls him. Always, hey, you know, but Bo never did that.
Yeah. You know, back in 1986, Bo wouldn't have run that. So you sure you want to do it?
He's been with Fitzgerald since 2008. Think about how many players, how many coaches, how many lives he's impacted. The doctor of fundamentals. 3rd and 2. Porter tackled short.
Well, this will be a 4th down where Northwestern will go for it. You know, and also about Hankwitz, he's had a lot of great players, but this group of linebackers, this is the best group of linebackers at Northwestern he's had. The firm. Gallagher, Fisher, Bergen.
Those will be big holes to fill.
Yeah.
Fourth down. Ramsey will throw, and that is a conversion. Riley Lees goes into a slide after he knew he got it.
So my question is whether you get 2 Gatorade baths on the Northwestern side or just one for Hankwitz.
Coach Hank's got to get one. So whether the head coach has his taken away or what. I think the last few minutes of this game are going to be a celebration of these players and their coach. What a great year for Northwestern.
Unbelievable. Just think what might have been had they not lost that Michigan State game.
Yep. TJ Green gets a chance to come in the game. They don't know he's actually eligible. He's had 6 years. He could come back like everybody can, get another year. But TJ will go under center and take a snap. Maybe for the final time. Jesse Brown, another senior, gets the carry.
I'm betting it's only 1 Gatorade bath. 1 for Hankwitz, not 1 for Fitzgerald today.
Yep, a lot of hugs. And a well-deserved vacation coming up.
Well, I think the group is starting to work on the Gatorade.
Maybe talking some strategy. Who are we dumping this on?
Well, somebody's got to be the decoy. Someone has got to give the congratulatory hug and distract him and be willing to get wet.
Another handoff to Jesse Brown. He doesn't want to finish his career without a great effort at the end of that run. No, Mike told us he's looking forward to going to some of his old Michigan reunions, some of his old, some of the great teams he's been a part of. He never gets a chance to do any of that stuff, connect with his old coaching mates and teammates.
Patty Fisher just looked at me. The Gatorade was getting ready. They said they're going after Hankwitz.
Okay, well, now that is some sideline reporting.
They've got some maneuvering to do.
Yeah, a long way to go.
Yeah.
You kind of sneak behind, use that wall. You're running out of time, guys. Coach Hank is going to make a run for it.
Yeah, somebody's got to grab him and turn him around.
Final 5 seconds, tick off the clock, and a career for all time for Mike Hankwitz. Bring it on. Career win number 400 for Mike Hankwitz as an assistant coach in his distinguished career. Pat Fitzgerald, Kevin Steele, meet in the middle. Mike earned that one, didn't he?
He did.
400 career wins and maybe his first Gatorade bath, maybe.
A great performance by the Northwestern defense and an outstanding performance for Peyton Ramsey at quarterback.
So Auburn has a lot of transitioning to do. They'll pick up the pieces and start anew with their new head coach, Brian Harsin. Pat Fitzgerald has been in Evanston for so long alongside that man, and that may be job number one for Coach Fitz. Paul Carcaterra is down on the field as we get ready with both of those coaches, Coach Fitz and Coach Hank. Take it away, Carc.
Coach, you got me?
I got you, yeah.
You got your main man right there, Mike Hankwitz. After 51 years coaching college football, that's win 400. Coach, what does it mean to have you and Coach Hank in this spot right now?
It's an honor and a privilege for me. There's no doubt about that. A true coach's coach, the best it's ever been, and we love him dearly. We're going to miss him. But these guys behind us got him number 400, so I'm going to give the headset to Hank. Hang on.
Coach, today you had to deal with the big bad SEC and their speed. Describe your defense's performance.
I love these guys. I knew they were going to come out and play their heart out. And I knew somehow we'd find a way to win.
When you look at your defense, everyone talks about those senior linebackers, the firm, with Patty Fisher there in the middle. What makes that relationship with you so special?
Well, they're just great young men. Patty has a great instinct to find the ball. Bergen is just a competitor. Blake Gallagher will come down and hit anything that moves. And they just work so well together. But our D-line did a nice job helping them out. And our secondary, we were #1 in the country in pass efficiency defense. And that's a real tribute to Matt McPherson, because he came up with a lot of great ideas.
What did you love the most about coaching college football for 51 years?
The relationship with players, seeing them come in and grow and develop, become young men and go out and be successful husbands and workers. And that, I don't think you can put a win total on that or a price tag on that. That is just the most rewarding thing.
Coach, kick back, enjoy retirement, buddy.
Thank you.
I think the game ball is going to the man who earned it more than any other. 51 years to get that one. What a celebration for Northwestern. A terrific Citrus Bowl for the Wildcats, for Rod Gilmore, for Paul Carcaterra. Dave Fleming saying so long. Remember, the Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One is currently over on ESPN. For all of us, thanks for watching. So long from Orlando.